Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your October forecast. I hope that this month is getting off to a great start for everybody. Just a quick reminder that if you know your sun, rising, and moon sign, you can use this reading for all of those, and that goes for each of the signs, obviously, so feel free to do that. Otherwise, just stick with your birth sign and you should be good to go. I like to start off every reading with a little bit of gratitude for all of the support that you guys have given me, especially since I'm getting really close to a milestone. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers, and as a thank you, I would like to do a live feed that same week that I hit 100,000, and I'll post a little bit more as I get closer to that. I'm thinking of doing maybe sort of like a Q&A where you guys give me some questions ahead of time, and then also if I have some time during the live feed, I'll answer some questions on the go. I think that'd be fun and a great way to give back, and I just want to say right now, thank you so much for helping me get really close to that, and hopefully we'll meet that milestone soon. If you would like to give some support to this channel, the easiest way to do that is simply to like, subscribe, and to share it if you have a social media account. Otherwise, if you'd like to support purchasing of products here, like all of the cards that I have to use, and also just allowing me to have more time to do these readings so I'm not rushed, you can give a donation. As little as $1 goes a really long way into making all of this possible. And I have two ways you can do that. The first is Patreon, and that's a great one because it's ongoing. You don't have to worry about it. You can cancel anytime, but you can also do a one-time donation as well. So I'll put some information here at the bottom of the video, and also if you go right below, you'll see an area right above the comments. It'll be the first link on that one. Actually, the second link, sorry. First link is a way to book an appointment if you're interested. All right, so with that being out of the way, let's take a look now at the forecast for this month. As you know, I break it down into three parts. I start off with channeled information, look at an overview, and then expand it to health, wealth, love, and destiny. The first part, the channeled information, I arrive at as I select a deck of cards and meditate. When I was doing that for you, I had this sensation of kind of going high above the earth or my body or whatever, and I was looking down, so sort of like a bird's eye view. And I channeled the following information and wrote it down. What I said here was always remember to look around to try to get context in a situation. It's really important this month that you do this so that you can be present. Sometimes we get either distracted by what's going on around us, something that I've been feeling for a lot of signs, or we get so used to a sort of routine or a normal way of doing things that we don't step back or step out of our body or kind of like take a bird's eye view. So perspective is going to be really key this month. For some of you, that could mean like literally kind of getting out of a situation, maybe taking a vacation, or for those of you that enjoy hiking and running or biking or something, moving out of your normal situation and doing something so that your mind can be freed and see things from a different perspective. So it doesn't matter how you get there, but the act of getting your mind and taking it away from sort of the day-to-day is going to be really, really important, because when you do that, you're going to understand the bigger picture or all of the context and why you're sort of going through something at any given moment. And I think this is going to make it easier for you to sort through the messages, figure out what else might be important to be focusing on, and again, sort of give you direction for the month. So take that time this month, see it from a different point of view, and see if that doesn't help you as challenges and opportunities come your way. Let's go ahead now and take a look at all of the cards and see what the messages are for the month of October. All right, I'm going to shuffle the cards, and at this point, as you know, I like to remain quiet. So let's do that, and I will rejoin you in a moment after I have shuffled the cards and arranged the spread. In addition to the Celtic Cross, I like to pull one more card. I call this the Catalyst, and for me, just like I was saying in the channeled information where you get perspective, it gives me perspective on the collection of cards in front of me, and it sometimes will show how to either maximize the positive or neutralize the challenging elements of the month for you. All right, so we have the Tower here, and as you can see, the position was reversed, and whenever I see that, it really indicates opportunity to reorganize, restructure, and rethink. And I think that's why in the channeled information, I was encouraging you to take a step back or to sort of look at the context of a situation. So your connecting thread this month is it's going to be beneficial to look at things and try them from a different angle, different perspective, different, I would also say sort of routine. So shake things up a little bit in a good way. The Tower is sometimes a very good change agent. And since this is exactly what a catalyst is, it sort of kicks off the action for the month. You can maximize the positive elements this month by trying things differently, stepping outside of your comfort zone. Let's take these cards one by one. Based on the overall spread here, I'm actually feeling like there's a lot of good things coming through. It's the beginning, the very first week, that could have a lot of the potential shifts for you. And so if you can stick with that week, I think you're going to be okay. So we have Death reversed. When I see Death reverse, I see stagnation. So that's why the Tower reverse is coming in, which is saying you've got to move things around. Death upright is an end, a beginning, transformation. This is saying it's time to make that change. You're overdue for the change. And that's what this card was emphasizing. Right on top of that, we have Prince of Swords, which means that for many of you, you will be pushed into action. And you may have to make a decision very quickly during the first part of the week, or the first week of the month, I should say. And it looks like after that, things pick up in a very positive way. Your crowning card is the Star. I'll get to that in a minute. But what I think this is forcing you to do is to come to terms with something, to embrace a part of yourself or embrace an opportunity that, again, may be getting you to be a little bit more visible or step out of your comfort zone. But that's something that seems like the cards are encouraging and the universe is encouraging you to do. Let's look a little deeper at your deep past to see what's affecting maybe this moment in your life right now. All right, so we have the 10 of Pentacles. The card is reversed, but let me pull it up right so you can see the illustration here. For me, this has to do with your commitments. Of course, it can also deal with money, it can deal with family, but when I'm looking at this, I see all of the things in your life that you've committed your time, your energy, and your money towards, and this is a chance for you to decide, are you still doing it because it's something that you enjoy, or is it just the initial promise or contract that you made, perhaps, many, many years ago, or in a state of mind that sort of no longer represents who you are and what you want moving forward? If it's the latter, that's why the Death card was in the center in the reverse state, which is you're sort of stuck because you said you would do it, but you're not feeling it anymore. So there's either a chance for you to find your motivation again to stay on that path and honor your commitment, or it's okay. Sometimes we change our minds, and you can look at if it makes sense to release whatever contract or promise or obligation you've made and honor the fact that a change is starting to take place within your heart or within your energy system. Now, it's difficult for many of you because it looks like you've been working hard. I do see that there's a chance to maybe take a breather this month. And if you want to try to make that happen, this is also good, because the Five of Wands is usually a card that happens, or shows up, I should say, when you're just sort of going through the motions, really busy, not taking enough time to take care of yourself, and might be working so hard that you're not even being productive. The reversal of this is showing some slowing of productivity. And again, I think it would be great for you to take a 3-day vacation, a 5-day vacation, or at least take a little bit of downtime to figure out what you want to sort of also make sense of all the changes that are going on right now. Your crowning card, the Star. She's also reversed, but the Star is a great card. It's one of those that it doesn't matter whether it's upright or reversed. It's showing opportunity, advancement, recognition, and also getting closer to your soul's path. What does it mean when it's reversed? It's saying that for some reason you might be holding back. This can happen for those of you that are just really kind to people around you and don't want to sort of outshine them or step on their feet or kind of get in the way of someone else's moment. And that's actually a great thing. But it might also be your moment this month, and it's a chance to, again, rise to some sort of a challenge or situation that may not always open so much. So you've got this window of opportunity, and what you really want to do is take a look at your life and see, is there something that's holding you back from embracing that? Whether it's some of you might be a fear of success or a fear of failure, or just, again, not wanting to be in front of people or something like that. Because typically for me, the star card indicates someone who might be active in politics, might be an actor, or might be in front of people doing speeches, or again, working in a public outreach effort, somehow very, very facing forward and again, out there in the sort of rank and file with everybody else. So there's a chance for you to lead basically this month on some level. And whether it's a temporary leadership opportunity, a one-day sort of thing where you have to take charge, or a long-term thing where you're deciding to be a much more visible or vocal sort of role in your life or in your community or in your organization, I think it's worth embracing and sort of exploring it a little bit more. Let's now take a look at mid-month and also energy that's taking you into the near future here. We have the Lady, which is the Empress, and that's an expansion of what I was just talking about. When I see Emperor or Empress, really what this is encouraging you to do is to take control over something in your life. Now, when we're looking at it as just a general aspect of your personality and the opportunities in October, this is saying that it's important not to unnecessarily delegate things this month. A good leader will delegate, but I also want you to make sure that you're accountable for each and every task that's on your plate. So understand what's going on, take ownership, and if you delegate, also follow up with people. You really want to kind of be that managing or guiding hand this month. The other aspect of this is giving birth, either symbolically or on a sort of metaphorical level. And so when we're looking at it on the symbolic level, what it is you could possibly be launching a product this month or letting go of something, maybe a personal creation that you've been working on, something artistic, whatever. This is the month to allow it to take form or be shared with a larger audience. For those of you looking to start a family, this could also be symbolic of that, or starting a new relationship. So I see this as the beginning or the germination of something for many of you, and for the rest of you, it might be the actual announcement or letting go. So this is a good month to kind of do either, and that's also emphasized here with the Sun card in the ego. Now the Sun card is reversed, so let's talk about the reversal for a second. For me, Sun indicates personality, development, the way you present yourself to other people. It's interesting that we have both the Star card and the Sun, which is essentially what? A star. And so this is the overarching message. This is your personal message, showing that there's a little room to go from this to this. And so don't be afraid, because this card is reversed, to focus on self-development opportunities. What does that mean? Deciding to take a class, to do something just to inform yourself or to feel a little bit more prepared. It doesn't look like there's a lot of work to do on that front because your outcome is the Three of Pentacles, but doing it can actually just open up your heart center and also help you have that confidence that for some of you might be lacking. Also, for those of you starting a family, this indicates divine masculine energy. So typically that manifests as a boy, but it can also be a girl that just really has that divine masculine energy as a part of her personality. So either way, looks good. But again, it looks like the focus is first and foremost on yourself and feeling good. And then for some of you, some news here about a potential family beginning. Now, as we're looking at your environment, I do see a slowing down, which is good. Over the course of this month, we have the Four of Swords, which again is encouraging you to take a break, to rest, to sleep, to meditate. And for some of you, after that beginning part of the month and maybe this big step-up opportunity, there's going to be a chance to just slow down for a little bit. So know that, yes, things might be sort of off to a big start when the month begins, but I think you're going to find a happy medium as the month progresses. So don't despair. Again, give yourself time to sort everything out. Take time off if you can as well. Looking at your resources this month, it falls within hopes and fears or opportunities, and we have the Four of Pentacles, the cards reversed. So a little bit of caution this month about large expenditures, not a great time to do a luxury purchase. You want to be saving more than you spend. And you also want to be examining issues of self-confidence, because even though that illustration doesn't show it, typically the Four of Pentacles shows some sort of fear or frustration, or again, energy closure right around that fourth chakra and right around the heart. And so what you want to do is make sure, if it's something that you're working on, how can you connect on a heart level to it? How can you get excited or passionate about the task at hand? If it's how people perceive you, can you open yourself up to be more vulnerable and accessible to people? Because when they can connect on a heart level, then they believe you, and then they can be an advocate for whatever it is you're trying to do. So there's some healing that can be done here. There's some practical work that can be done with your budget and your money. And overall, it's a foundational card. So if you take advantage of working on those two areas, it's sort of like a nice new cement foundation that you're laying, and it should give you a good starting ground to kind of move forward from. Your outcome card is positive. We have the Three of Pentacles. It's reversed. Slight delay in recognition for some of you. So if you were hoping for receiving some sort of a news about an advancement or acceptance or something like that, it looks like there's an eventual yes, but a delay or a caveat where you might have to do something or revisit something before you get the final confirmation or affirmation that you were hoping to receive. For many of you, this could mean looking at a small detail before you graduate, making sure that you have all the credit hours, or there's one more test, or there's something like that. It could also mean going back to finish something, and it's a very small piece that's necessary. Overall, I like that as the outcome card. It shows that you're making good progress, and that eventually, when it comes to money and resources as well, you should get to a point where things balance out. So with all of that being said, why don't we take a look at your expanded forecast? We'll look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, and then we'll revisit everything we just talked about. Let's go ahead and begin with the health card. Health is really looking at your mind, body, and spirit. It's not just one piece. So let's see what the overall message is with respect to your health this month. So believe that there's a possibility to make amazing progress. We have a miracle card here. And for some of you, this can quite literally mean something unexpected in a positive direction. It can also, for me, encourage you to realize that the power of the mind is something that is not to be underestimated when it comes to overall physical health. So if you have a negative outlook on what's possible, you've already sort of had this self-defeating moment where you can't move forward, whether it's towards recovery or, again, just getting stronger and healthier. The other thing that I see with this is looking at alternative types of treatments and approaches towards healthy living. So not just looking at Western medicine, but also combining Eastern components to it. So if you kind of embrace the possibilities this month on both of those things, and also looking at the positive, that's going to be really important. Even if you've received bad news, think, well, how can I try to beat the odds on this? Or what can I do to surprise myself and possibly also surprise doctors? All right, let's look at the wealth component here and see what's going on with respect to your money, your career opportunities, and also your relationship with abundance in your life. So we'll give it a good shuffle and see what's coming through for you. Your message this month with respect to career or money is about the first chakra. And this has to do with a feeling of safety, of grounding, and of power. And so what I want you to make sure is that anything that you approach from a business or financial perspective is really well grounded. That is underlined again by your catalyst card, which was the Tower, which can show this sort of tendency towards instability. So be cautious. And I think, again, with the Four of Pentacles there in the opportunity space, that makes sense. Not a time to get into risky investments or to something where you don't have all the information. The other thing is to make sure that you have a very clear place at the table when it comes to discussions and negotiations for contracts and for anything that has to do with your money. You should have some sort of a stake in it, and you should be able to control it or speak to your concerns. Don't move forward if you don't feel comfortable with that. Delay if necessary, in fact. So safety, stability, paramount this month. And I think if you look at that, that's going to help counter what we're seeing with that first chakra card. All right, let's take a look now at, we looked at health, wealth, let's look at love. And a reminder that love is not just about who you're married to, who you're dating, or what's going on in your personal life. It can also have to do with coworkers or your family, because love is kind of a universal language that moves through all relationships. So let's see what the overarching theme is for love for your sign this month. Give it a good shuffle. So we have fellow travelers, and the subtitle on this one is really that is support is all around you. But you may have to go a little bit out of your way to find some of it, or you might have to reach out to this group around you, or to this extended family that I'm sort of seeing here. So remember that it's important for you to, if you need help, not be afraid to lean on people, and also not be afraid to ask for assistance in your life. And it's also a reminder to give gratitude for the fact that even though you might have challenges, you also have a lot of people that are cheering you on. So do your best to try to embrace and welcome in that support. And let's move on to the next piece, which is your destiny. Destiny is sort of a GPS for you. If you like everything that you've seen and you want to continue on a path, this is just kind of confirm that that's the best move for you. But it can also show what you need to do to change or to shift things to maybe have a more successful or a more elevated view on your current situation. So let's go ahead and give it a shuffle and see what's coming through for destiny. So we have soul expansion here, and it says your consciousness is expanding. You understand connections between all things. This harkens back to my beginning message, which was trying to encourage you to get above a situation, to get a higher view on things, and to then embrace it for the larger thing that it's trying to teach you. Also, of course, with this soul expansion, this is saying what sort of benefits you would get from meditating this month. When we looked again at your environment card, we had that Four of Swords, which is showing rest is not only important, but I would say essential to productivity and recovery, and also to understanding, because for the recovery portion, your body and your mind need a chance to process things and to repair. For understanding spiritual development or personal development, in your meditations, in your dreams, in your quiet time, you're really starting to unravel all of the sort of mysteries, all of the subtle details that can escape you if you sort of stay in this busy state that I saw at the beginning of the month. And I think that's what the Tower is speaking to as well, is to try to really work on time management over the course of this month so that you have or make more time for yourself. And there is a big theme of self, and that's not a bad thing, because once you get more solid in who you are, what you want, what you're representing, the easier it is for everyone around you to kind of rally forces and support you as well. Okay? Let's go ahead and review everything we talked about. I know it was a lot to sort of remember, so I like to try to bring it together in a concise package here. Your channeled information this month was to look up, look around, maybe even physically move yourself out of your situation in order to get better context, to really allow for some integration, digestion of everything that's going on in your life so that you can make better decisions. The catalyst this month was that it's time to change patterns and also to avoid any situations that aren't grounded or steady, particularly when it came to finances. Let's look at the arrangement of all the cards and the messages. At the center, we have the Death card reversed, showing stagnancy, and really reminding you that this month you're going to move through that. There are changes that are happening, whether or not you're ready. So try to embrace it, try to be ready. Deep past, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Whenever I see the Ten of Cups or Ten of Pentacles reversed, a lot of times it's showing other people that are getting more out of a situation than you are, or that you're perhaps not saying no enough. So that piece of the puzzle fits in. I also was mentioning earlier that there might be a contract that you had agreed to in the past but no longer is serving you and or the people around you. So there's a chance to complete the contract or release the contract. It really is up to you to decide which one makes sense. As we look at your recent past here, we have the Five of Wands. And what this is saying is that it's okay for you to slow down a little bit. It's time, in fact, for you to take a break. Ultimately, doing this is going to allow you to get back to that channeled information, which was to get a better bird's eye view of what's going on. Crowning card is really encouraging you to step up, to take advantage of some sort of a door or a window that's opening for you this month. And it can be a longer term sort of a post or a temporary chance that you might have to lead or guide people in your life. For some of you, this is also a time to either begin or to finish something big. So you could be delivering news to people, you could be sharing a product or a project with someone. This can also indicate for some of you a chance to start a family or to begin development of something. We talked about your ego this month. It's important to work on personal development, which is training, enrichment, anything that's going to make you feel a little bit more confident and comfortable in what's going on. Additionally, when we're looking at this sort of child aspect of this is reminding you to have fun, to be playful, to be charismatic. This is going to pull people into your life. And for some of you, again, this can indicate a birth of either literally a child in your life or an event or a project that's taking form. Rest is essential this month. Make time for it. Don't overwork yourself. Understand that by taking that time to decompress and also to process things, you're going to be better prepared for all the challenges ahead of you. Be cautious with money, especially if something is not sort of secure or stable. It could end up not being a beneficial engagement for you. Ultimately, when it comes to your career, recognition does look like it's on the horizon, but it might be delayed. Same thing with graduation or finishing something. For many of you, you might be going back to complete a small detail of something that perhaps fell by the wayside the first time. So this is your chance to sort of like let it go completely. And that could be really what we're seeing here with death moving its way into Three of Pentacles. So know that it looks like there's a chance to basically realize a dream that might have been put on the back burner. For health, I want you to be as positive as possible, be motivated, expect that good things can happen, and lo and behold, it looks like they can. Some of you might actually find that you're able to make a recovery or to get better than you thought you could or faster. Possibly that recovery or improvement happens in a shorter amount of time. So expect positive results and also look to alternative means to enhance your health. So in addition to Western, bring some Eastern medicine into it, include things like yoga, meditation, and different types of healing, and that might help augment things for you. As we're looking at your wealth this month, really important that you feel secure and you also engage in secure money and I would say investment opportunities this month. With wealth, you have a good support system, but it needs to be activated, so don't be afraid to do so. Really good month for spiritual development, but it requires time and rest, which we talked about at great depth. Also, it's indicating that there's an opportunity for expansion. And in order for that to happen, it might be necessary for you to sort of pull yourself out of a situation and either look at it from a different angle or physically be in a different location so that you can process it. So that goes back to that channeled information. So this brings our monthly reading to a close, but if you ever find yourself at a point in your life where you just like to talk to someone about what's going on, maybe a big decision or life change, I'm happy to listen. In order to reach out, you can look at the first link below the video and you can check my rates and availability there and see if that makes sense. If you would like to support the channel and donate $1, you can do so through Patreon or through my website. The second link will allow you to do that. If you'd like to join me on social media and perhaps share this with other people, you can absolutely join me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I have a newsletter as well. The third link below the video will help you get to all of those different destinations, and I really do appreciate all of your help in, again, getting us to this milestone that's coming up, so thank you so much. Finally, I like to end every video with a little bit of gratitude for all of the work that you're doing, and also just recognition too, because it's great that you're coming here each month to learn more about yourself, to develop your skills, to raise your awareness. I think one thing that kind of differentiates what I do with what some other folks do is that I try to have a bigger purpose to each month and also just to the whole of all of my readings. Yeah, it's about sort of what's coming through with health, wealth, love, and destiny and everything, but I'm also hopefully giving you some advice so that you can become brighter and more confident and more evolved, and then therefore really more intuitive, because I think we all have that gift. And this month in a few signs I've been talking sort of about like a crystal and all the facets. I think each month we sort of take a look at each of the facets that we have and try to clarify it a little bit, just like this crystal. And so I hope that you're starting to find that there's a little bit more clarity, a little bit more ability to hold that light and to shine it and share with others. So keep working on yourself, keep clarifying things, and know that piece by piece you're starting to get towards this higher card here, which we saw, the star. And I want you to embrace that ability to shine brightly, to inspire others, and don't be afraid to step into that light if it presents itself for you. All right? Thank you so much for being present. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you again next month. Thanks.